You know, we've been throwing spinnerbaits, spoons. I thought I'd try a crankbait. This is like my second cast, a little bit tighter in this bay, with a new lure called a Kayak. So I got to be careful here because this has two trebles on it. So, got to hold the fish nice and tight. Not hurting it though, just over its gill plate. And I'm going to take the hook out, put another one in there, and I'm going to release it. Just want to show you this lure, so I'm just going to spin around here. You know, the torque from the fish, even that small fish actually spun the kayak. So this is it here. It's actually a really neat lure. This one is 7 centimeters long. It's called a Kayak, and I'll tell you why it's called a Kayak. See if you can hear that. Hear that clacking that it produces? So it's got a shallow lip, but it's ideal when you're fishing water less than 10 feet deep and you have the weeds growing up to almost the surface, and that's exactly what we've got here. So on my hummingbird, I can see that it's about 8 feet deep and the weeds are coming all the way to the surface. So I'm just casting it out, and look at the rod tip, the nice action on the lure. I'm just going to fire it back out there. So that just tells you that the lure's got a nice action going from side to side. So you just cast it out and then retrieve it slowly. And I watch the tip. A lot of times, you know, different species of fish, both pike and bass, will just slam this thing. If it's a soft action that goes missing, then it's probably weeds, because some of these weeds are almost at the surface here. I'm giving it a couple jerks to try to get the weeds off. Let's see if there's any on there. Yeah, there's the culprit right there. So whenever you get weeds, especially on a crankbait around the lip of the lure, even on the hooks, but especially the lip, you have to clean them off. Otherwise, the lure won't work well. Now, let me put this lure in the water here so you can appreciate the nice side-to-side action, okay? I'm going to bring it back around. See how nicely that's working? I wouldn't be surprised if a fish comes right up here and hits it. So I'm doing a little bit of a figure eight because I don't have a lot of room, just so you can appreciate the action. But it's got a really nice flash because it's at almost like holographic finish and a nice wobble from side to side. Remember, when you combine that with the rattles, you get like an irresistible action. So this is amazing. Yeah, we've been casting these shorelines, trying to get some bass because it's early in the morning. You can see how clear the water is. Yeah, it's a good sized fish. Now you say most of the fish are like 3-4 pounds in here?
Yeah, the average here you catch is a high 3 to 4.
Wow.
And then with, you know, hopefully we get into the big kickers here.
Now, is that a real 4? He's got to be.
That looks like a, if that's not a 4.
Because I'm thinking he's like 19 inches.
Yeah,
I mean, you see a lot of bass. He's a really healthy fish. Look how thick his belly is.
Oh, absolutely beautiful pot.
So they got lots of food in here?
Oh, lots of forage, lots of food.
You can see his tail is a little bit beat up from spawning. I know they're all done now because we're mid-July. I'm just going to hold them in the water for a little bit. Yeah, it was funny on this light rod. This is just a 7-foot medium action rod. If I was seriously tournament fishing, I wouldn't use such a limp rod. But here for fun, you know, and with 20-pound braid, he put up a pretty good fight. So he beelined it right into the reeds here.
Yeah, he gave you a good pull.
Nice specimen. Okay, I'm going to get the hook out. See, the nice thing about these kayaks, too, you're so close to the water. So there's no problem keeping the fish in the water when you're handling them, you know. Gorgeous largemouth. See, all you need is a kayak. You don't need to spend a lot of money on fuel. Perfect to get into the shallow stuff. You can put it in anywhere. You can see that Kara that he pulled up off the bottom, and it's all over the banks here. It's a very nasty weed. It feels even coarse.
It's a very tough. It's a very tough sandy weed.
Yeah, and it doesn't really provide any cover like for bait fish or little organisms. Yeah. So it's not a really good weed. But you know what? The fish get used to it. One more look, and then I'm going to let him go. Wow, what a gorgeous fish! Look at that. Nice bass. I'm going to hold him up. You see his big mouth? Isn't he a gorgeous creature? And you know what? He's going to swim right out of my hands. That's the nice thing about being in a kayak. You're so low to the water. What a beautiful scene.
Canadian sport fishing has been brought to you by Suffix, the world's most hardcore fishing line. Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Dickies, guaranteed workwear since 1922. Lucky Strike. All you need is a Lucky Strike.
Double hitter. All right, there are bass in here.
I got a green one.
Okay. You know the fishing's good. Look, I can't believe the pike is jumping as well.
Oh, wow.
This is awesome. Nice largemouth. Now, are there just largemouth and pike in here, or are there smallmouths as well, James?
You know what? I have known to catch the odd smallmouth in here.
Good.
And they're very, very big.
Wow. Well, that fish is probably about 2 1/4, 2.5 pounds.
Yep, that's a healthy July bass.
Nice and thick. Now the pike, is this the average size?
That's the average size and bigger here.
Good. Okay, I'm gonna let mine go. There he goes.